we have virtually no vocations to priesthood and religious life in Ireland. Our young people in the age bracket of 18 to 24 years old are abandoning the faith at a rate of over 80%. Just over 1.2 million people, most of them baptized Catholics, voted for same-sex marriage, contrary to Catholic Church teaching, in 2015. And in May of last year, just over 1.4 million people voted to allow the Irish government to legislate for the killing of certain innocent human beings. Most worryingly, the suicide rate is increasing amongst our young. I recently looked at a report on suicide from 2016 called Young Lives in Ireland, which was put together by the NSRF, the National Suicide Research Foundation. In the executive summary, it says, "Suicide is one of the leading causes of death among young people, and in Ireland, peak rates of hospital-treated self-harm are among 20 to 24-year-old males and 15 to 19-year-old females." I also looked at a 2018 article covering a 10-year Irish National Registry study of self-harm among children, adolescents and young adults from 2007 to 2016. The results of that study are as follows. After mentioning the statistics I quoted above, the article notes that between 2007 and 2016, rates of self-harm increased in the cohort studied by 22%, with increases most pronounced for females and those aged 10 to 14 years of age. Something has gone dreadfully wrong with our society when suicide is a leading cause of death amongst our young people, when some in the 15 to 24 year age bracket feel that life is not worth living anymore, and when self-harm and attempted suicide is increasing amongst 10 to 14-year-old children. I believe that the solution to these problems lies with the Catholic Church and with Catholic parents. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, entreat, rebuke in all patience and doctrine. For there shall be a time when they will not endure sound doctrine, but according to their own desires, they will heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and will indeed turn away their hearing from the truth, but will be turned unto fables. 2 Timothy 4, 2-5. The reason why Ireland can no longer be called a Catholic country is because so many families have drifted away from the authentic practice of the Catholic faith. Catholic families make up a Catholic society and a Catholic nation. If you want Ireland to return to the Catholic faith, then you must concentrate most of your efforts on helping families to return to the faith by helping to catechize the parents so that they can properly catechize their children. Marriage and family is the decisive issue. Now, marriage is a sacrament. As laity, this is our sacrament. We are the ministers of the sacrament. We are the ones who live it. We are the ones to whom God entrusts his children, so that we will rear those children in the kingdom of the Catholic faith. When Catholic marriage and family come under attack, then we, the laity, must come together, and we must rise to defend the sacrament of marriage against any and all who would undermine the sacramental nature of marriage, regardless of where those attacks come from. Today, the most serious attacks against Catholic marriage and family are coming from within the Catholic Church, from those who spread falsehood in her name. In December 2017 in Italy, a newly appointed priest and moral theologian to the Pontifical Academy for Life, Father Maurizio Chiodi, said publicly, contrary to infallible church teaching, that in certain cases a married couple may be required to use artificial contraception. Father Chiodi has not been publicly corrected for the errors he promotes or been removed from his position. In Germany, in January of last year, the Vice President of the German Bishops' Conference, Bishop Franz Joseph Bode, called for a discussion on the possibility of blessing homosexual unions, of which blessings he himself is in favour. To date, Bishop Bode has not been publicly corrected for the errors he promotes or been removed from his position. There are problems at home too. The Irish bishops launched a programme into every parish in the country in preparation for the World Meeting of Families, which they called Amoris. The programme included an image of two lesbians embracing, with the following erroneous paragraph above the image. While the Church upholds the ideal of marriage as a permanent commitment between a man and a woman, other unions exist which provide mutual support to the couple. The image and quotation were subsequently removed without any explanation given as to how they got there in the first place. Why is it that parents think that they need permission from the state to carry out their fundamental God-given duty as parents? They have been told so by the state, and sadly, our bishops have not been very good at defending the rights of the Catholic Church in education, nor the rights of Catholic parents. I think the greatest difficulty you'll probably face when you decide once again to take control of your children's education, or to decide to tackle the problems currently in the Catholic schools, will be gathering enough parents who are of the same mind. For so many of today's parents have imbibed the secular rainbow culture, and they are no longer truly Catholic. But remember, you will not evangelize them and bring them back to the truth and beauty of the Catholic faith by going along with the status quo. Time will also pass, and your children will continue to grow and to need a proper Catholic education. As St. Paul says, "Behold, now is the acceptable time. Behold, now is the day of salvation." 2 Corinthians 6:2. You cannot wait for the right school to open, so you must act to protect your children's faith now, because regardless of the difficulties, your duty as parents remains to see to it that your children are properly educated in the Catholic faith. If your children do stray from the sound foundation of Catholic teaching, it will be very difficult to regain them afterwards. So the times for Catholic parents are more urgent than ever, and homeschooling may be the only short-term solution to making sure that you do your duty by your children. The future of Catholic education in Ireland rests on the shoulders of faithful Catholic parents who have a duty to ensure that their children are educated in the full and authentic doctrines and teachings of the Catholic Church, to help them to live their lives according to those doctrines and teachings, to protect them from error so that they will learn to worship God and become saints for all eternity in heaven. When enough parents accept and begin to carry out this responsibility, we will then begin to see the slow return to Christian civilization here in Ireland. Do not be afraid of the responsibility. Sacramental marriage brings with it the channel of grace that allows parents to fulfill the mission entrusted to us by God. God does not command the impossible, but we must ask him for the graces necessary. Parents are the first and most important educators of their children, and they also possess a fundamental competency in this area. They are educators because they are parents. The Pontifical Council for the Family, the Truth and Meaning of Human Sexuality. So together, we must have great hope for the future of our children, for Catholic marriage and family life, for our society and for our Irish nation. But we must take the necessary actions and work tirelessly to nurture that hope and to bring about the conditions under which our children are most likely to blossom as young Catholic men and women. I'm John Lacken. May God bless you.